All right. So first of all, I want to thank every single one of you guys for being here. It's the first of many. I hope to do more of these. My goal is to help as many people as I can. At the end of the day, I started off with basically no knowledge of this. So if I can help as many people as I can, including you guys, I don't know you guys personally, at least most of you, but hey, if I can help in any way, I'd be more than happy to. So let's go ahead and run through today's positions and basically just go ahead and go on from there. You guys ready? All right, let's do this. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna have the chat open so I can see if you guys need anything from me at all, just in case. All right, so first thing, let's go over the actual positions that I went through today. So here I'm opening my orders. You guys can actually see here. So activity and positions. These were my orders from today. And I believe, yep, this is standard time. So let me go ahead and change this for you guys so you guys can actually see this better. Appearance, fair time, time access. All right. So let's go ahead and put this into Central Time. There we go. So I'm gonna actually use my phone for this, but here you guys can actually see my positions for today. So my first position that I took very first in the morning at 8:21 a.m. Central. Okay, so this should be like an hour after that. My computer's in LA time, so that's why it's 1 hour before. But so 8:21 a.m. Central, and bought in at 19.7. So I purchased one contract for 19.7. I want to show you guys exactly what I was looking at this point. Okay. So let's go to 8:07. Move this to 8:07 here. 8:21, my bad. 8:21. This is 8:30, so it's looking like, oh, okay. Here. Let's go to this point right here. 21 here. So this is the candle I decided to get in right here. This one. 8:21. I know it says 9:21 on my computer. Don't pay attention to that because my computer times are messed up with the actual times I decide to put in. Because here you can actually, well, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have 8:13 and here you guys are looking at 9:21. So I got into this candle, which is basically following my checklist. I don't know if you guys have actually seen my previous video that I made on YouTube, where I actually explain like what my checklist is and what I actually look at when I decide to take a trade. So I like to correlate my trades with /ES, basically the S&P 500. The way I do that is I notice the moves, okay? I notice the moves that /ES decides to take for the day, whether it's an up move or a down move, and I see which move is affecting, which move has more power on whatever stock I'm looking at. Like for example, today I actually saw that buyers were pushing hard when /ES was pushing upwards. It doesn't mean that they're directly correlated to it, but the way I look at it is like here. You guys can actually see. Let's go to 921 on the S&P 500. So first of all, let me explain a little bit about the colors that you guys are seeing on the screen. I'm going to explain this really quickly. So basically, these are levels that I set every single morning about 30 minutes before the market opens, where I say I'm comfortable in looking for calls above this point, and I'm comfortable looking for puts below this point. And these are just areas of support, well, in this case, resistance and support that I look for. And as you guys can see, I mean, I basically look for whole numbers mainly. Like mainly what I've noticed with different stocks, like for example, Tesla, if it breaks, for example, 640, it has a high probability if slash ES if slash ES is going downwards. Okay, if it has a negative tendency on the day, and so does Tesla, and I see strong sellers in this case, it has a strong probability of riding all the way to 630 by breaking 640. Now my checklist to, I mean, you guys can watch that whole video, but my checklist basically says, okay, so as soon as I see a break of the level I want to get in, I wait for a second candle to show that the actual movement is confirmed and that it's showing pressure from whichever side. Like if it was going upwards, I would want to see pressure from the buyers. If it was going sellers, if it was going downwards, I would want to see pressure from the sellers, which in this case I clearly saw it. So I get into this candle, I sell all the way down here. I believe it was around this candle, but we'll see. Anyways, so let's go back to when you guys can actually see now what these colors mean. Again, this is me looking for calls, this is me looking for puts. Now, even though I set these levels in the morning, as I explained in the other video, these levels change within the day depending on what is stronger in the stock that I'm looking at. I know that's kind of hard. I mean, it's even hard to explain to me. It's just a pattern that I noticed, and it's been working out for me. I know it's super weird the fact that I say that, but it's just a pattern that I noticed that even though, for example, even if the S&P 500 is pushing upwards, at times Tesla or Amazon, which are the main stocks I trade, they won't push upwards as strong as slash ES pushed up, but then it has a tiny like slash ES has like this tiny little pullback, and you see a huge candle on Tesla or you see a huge candle on Amazon, indicating to me that the sellers are stronger on Tesla. They're just waiting for that direction that they find on slash ES for other people who trade the same way I do. Okay. So are you guys understanding this part? I want to see on the chat if you guys are understanding what I mean or not, because I want to make sure that you guys get it. So do you guys see kind of like what I look at throughout the day? So these levels, I mean, these are like comfortability levels that I choose for myself to be looking for something specifically, but they don't necessarily mean that they can't change. For example, today, my level to start looking for puts was actually below 2800, even though above this point, I wanted to look for calls. But the second it crossed this, look what happened here. First of all, we saw a death cross with the EMA lines, and then I started to notice a change of tendency completely. So that's something that I kept in mind hard when I noticed, okay, this red candle led to this huge red candle. So you guys are understanding that part, okay? But look at slash ES pushed up hard. Look at Tesla. Did it push as hard as slash ES? No, not at all. But when it went for the seller side, oh my God, tiny little move, tiny $10 move right here from 2800 to 2790. Oh my God, what happened? So you guys start seeing that part, okay? That's the part I noticed first. Now, okay, so what I kept in mind is I would start looking for puts since I started to see the strength of sellers at this point in slash ES. I have both slash ES and whichever stock I'm looking at always together. Okay, I have them always together. And as soon as I see that getting closer to a critical level, because at the end of the day, this is a critical level, doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be 100% calls or 100% puts. It just means that this is a critical level, okay, that I want to watch out for. Now, with this, as soon as I saw a break, with volume, with very strong volume, I started to look for some puts on this side. Now, the first thing I noticed, which was perfect, was that strong sellers were there, first thing, and I was expecting a move back up, like a retracement. Again, I go over that in my other video, and that's also in my bio. So I'll like link you guys to that video so you guys can actually see about retracements. Retracements are basically areas where it broke. Like retracements are areas where the stock takes like a little break from whichever movement it decides to go. It doesn't mean that it's turning. It just means that it's taking a break. So retracements are usually the levels where it breaks before. So notice this place right here. The first thing I noticed was here having a hard time, indecision, then boom, it breaks. So automatically, this was my retracement right here. If I started seeing anything above, like if I started seeing candles go above this area with volume and everything, I could expect that to go back up to 650, no problem. But as soon as it got even near to this area, near to the area where it broke before, it continues its motion. And what you want to see in retracement levels are sentimental sellers in this case. You would want to see, on the upside, you would want to see sentimental buyers because you want to see what the wicks tell you. The wicks always tell a story, always. And you can see that again here. Look at here. What does? Consolidates, breaks. Breaks, okay? What does it do next? Gets close, consolidates, touches the retracement, goes all the way down. This area right here, I put it personally because I noticed that there was a strong support at this point, mainly because I was looking also on at the same time that I was trading this, I was looking at the 10-day, 30-minute chart. Let me go ahead and delete all this. I was looking at the 10-day, 30-minute chart right here, and I noticed that the candle was right around here, and it was about to touch the EMA line. And you tend to see a small retracement when it touches certain things. I don't necessarily put my 100% faith on these lines. I just use them as reference, but they are a good indicator to me at times. I don't necessarily you know, uh, I don't necessarily say, okay, it's a 100% a supporter, it's 100% a resistance no matter what, but I use price action more than anything. So this area was of interest to me. And as soon as I saw a 1-minute candle close below and then another 1-minute candle continue the motion, I knew that this was going to 630, no problem. Because at the same time, I want to show you guys what I was looking at exactly on /ES and on Tesla. So let's go back to that area where I was. This is my first trade again. So this is right here, right? Okay. So I get in on this candle, 921. Let's go ahead and look for 921 on /ES. Okay. So continuation of the movement on /ES, candle closed below the level I wanted to, and now going towards 27 2790. Okay, so that was the first level. 2790, I wanted it to be under this point. I know I expected a bit of consolidation between this point because /ES usually tends to move within $10. Well, because there's been a lot of volatility, actually it's been 20. But before I would put levels from 2800 all the way to 2790. Then I would go to 2780, then I would go to 2770. But because of the volatility, there's been even higher amounts of gaps where it just tends to fill. Okay, so that's one of the things I keep in mind. I decided to put it by dividing it by 20 each time, but again, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get filled unless it closes above 29.90. You know what I mean? So let's go back to that area. All right, 921. Here we go. So 921. This is what I'm seeing, and then let's close up on. Here we go. 921 here on Tesla. So I get in at this exact time on slash ES and at this exact time on Tesla. Now I decide to sell. I also add more to my position at 8:29 a.m. and I decide to sell at 8:45 two contracts at exactly 22.3 each. Bought in one contract at 19.7 and bought the second contract at 21.65. Okay, so I sold at 8:45 exactly. So let's see what happened between those times. So first thing I notice, green candle. I'm not worried about anything that happens here. And at times I already know that the seller side on Tesla is stronger. So this green candle isn't going to affect me much more than just going a little bit over 640 or anything like that. But the only thing I would need to see for me to, one, start being worried about my position is a close above the last place it broke, which in this case is 2800. If I started seeing candles closing above 2800 on slash ES, and I started seeing candles closing about 642. Remember that this was the area it broke before. So if I started seeing candles close above 2800 and then above 642, then okay, you know what? I'm probably wrong on this trade and I'm going to go ahead and get out. Okay? So that's basically my retracement levels where I'm like, okay, that's where I draw the line. I'm going to wait because I'm not comfortable with this, okay? But none of this happened. And remember, wicks tell a story. Wicks tell a story. Like the wicks that are here are representing that sellers are much stronger. In this case, yeah, buyers were showing some strength. And I even talk to myself that say, okay, buyers showing strength, sellers showing strength. Like I say that out loud and it helps me. But here, let's go ahead and move this one 2 and then this one 1 because we're at 923 and then 923. Perfect. Okay. So notice that it's not even back to where it used to be in this candle. And look at the move on Tesla. This confirms that the sellers on this side are much stronger because slash ES isn't even as strong as this candle right here. Yet this candle right here gave it enough room for the movement to breathe. And so did this candle with Tesla. So sellers were like, okay, we're doing this. So as soon as I saw this, bam, bigger candle, bam. Oh, my bad. So first jumped to the area where I saw there was buyer sentiment. In this case, okay, look at this part. That's strong buyers right there. Sorry for my arrow. That's strong buyers. That's strong buyers. That's an area I want to watch out for. And my retracement is still 640. And my retracement is still 2800 in this case. Okay. So no matter what, I would still be comfortable even seeing candles move upwards. Let me go ahead. Okay, there we go. Even seeing candles moving upwards towards 640 and even standing above 640 doesn't matter. As soon as I see a candle close above 640 though, with no wick, no wick from the seller side, that's when I take worry. So let's suppose, for people who usually ask me like, okay, so what would you do in this case? So let's say that, okay, let's suppose that this is right here, okay, like this movement is right here, and then all of a sudden we start seeing, okay, move up volume, starting to move up volume. I know my candles suck, but I start seeing a candle moving up like this. If I see, okay, it closed above this area and then slash ES is now closing above 2800 as well. If I see this, now I start to get worried. One, I would need to see, I would wait for the next candle. I wouldn't get out at this point. I would wait for the next candle to show me seller momentum. And yeah, that's taking a risk at the end of the day. You know, I would want to see the next candle close below this area, because at the end of the day, a close above this area is still a retracement. That's still a retracement, and it's okay. Like, I've learned to control that part, even though it took me a long time. But that is still a retracement, that where you want to see, what you want to see is this. As soon as you see this, strong sellers and then pushing it down and then closing above below 640, I can expect this movement to still be in my favor as soon as I see as well that, okay, closed above, and then what it did after that, sold off, went towards 2790. That would be, okay, that's a retracement level. I don't have to worry. I don't have to get out of my position. Closed above, but the next candle I saw above the close, the next candle was red and it closed below 640. This happens a lot, okay? So did I make myself clear on that? I want to make sure that you guys understood that part. Please put in the Zoom group chat. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and jump up a little bit. So next candle, big green candle, no volume. To be honest, I didn't necessarily look at the volume. I just looked at the candle at that point. You know, I'm mainly focusing on the candle and where it's going. But again, look at the volume on all candles. Very important. So after I saw this, I knew that there was going to be some sort of consolidation. Before Tesla was going to make a move down towards 630, you'd need to see a break below 2790. Easy. Like, you can see it because now what it's doing at this point, gets to 2790, strong buyers, they're like, no, we want to keep it above 2790. It's gonna get near to its previous breakpoint. Doesn't necessarily have to be this area, it just needs to get near it. And then this candle would give it time to breathe to even move further downwards. So let's see what happens. Bigger candle, bigger candle. Huge red candle on slash ES, small green candle on Tesla. Not even as big as the red candle it had before. I mean, compared to the green candle on slash ES, humongous red candle on Tesla, confirming that sellers are still a lot stronger than buyers in this case. What happens now? Gives it time to breathe. Boom, boom, gets near to this level again. I still see sellers right there. I mean, buyers, my bad. So, break of 2790. Notice this, the break of 2790, the close below 2790, and then the follow-up momentum candle towards 2780. What happens here? Starts to go towards 630. Saw some sellers. It's okay. I wasn't worried at this point because I knew that the buyers had lost. The one last the one last move I would need at this point is just one final breather for this stock Tesla to go all the way to 630 and for me to say that was the game. Period. So at this point I see a green candle, which is good. Why? Because again, this is a breather of the movement. We're talking about the 1 minute chart. So this, I mean, this is always going to happen. We see breathers, not taking different directions. We just see breathers. Okay. This is letting this is letting the movement breathe before it continues to make its move. And we can clearly see that the move is strong, although this candle tells me indecision. When you guys see this candle, and mainly in critical points, like critical areas, when you guys see this candle, this is an indecision candle. That means sellers and buyers are like saying, I'm not letting you pass this point. You're not getting past me. Whoever wins, like think about this as that game where you play like tug of war. Like these people say these are like the buyers and these are like the sellers. Like whoever wins this candle, yeah, like a tug of war. Like whoever wins this, if the sellers win this, the movement on Tesla is going to be so strong. How do you know if the sell? How do you know in this case? Like let's say it starts to move upwards, you just look for the next, like the previous break. Remember at this point, where was the last time it broke? 2790. 2790. That's where it broke. See this candle right here? That was a breather. What did it do? It broke that candle. This is our retracement level. So you see how these levels change now? 2790 has now turned into my retracement level. So I can expect that after a move like this, a couple candles that get near to 2790 and then continuation of the move. Let's see what happens. I actually don't remember what happened. So um, here we go. All right, movement broke 2780. Here we go. Buyers coming in at Tesla when there is sellers on ES. This was alarming to me because I said, okay, hold up. Strong sellers on slash ES and then buyers on Tesla. Now, you have to look at a couple things at this point. What is the probability? You have to look at this point. What is the probability that there's going to be a turnaround when slash ES is dumping? What's the probability? What do you guys think? What do you guys think the probability is going to be that Tesla makes a move up when the stock market is dumping? Lower. Exactly. So market was a choppy whole day too. So good question. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the chop, it just matters who you see. I mean, everybody's been saying that market's been choppy every single day, you know? And yeah, it has been, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna lie, you know? But the thing is, you have to see who has strength with a choppy market. Because you can make money with a choppy market if you see who has more strength and volume, of course. Like you have to see volume. Like I remember I got very lucky with a trade 2 Fridays ago. And I say I got lucky because it's true. I had my plan, I had everything set up, and I was right with who had more strength. But the thing is, there was no volume. And I think I was trading Amazon. And I was up 200, no, I was up like $300 on the day. And I actually gave up profits for an $87 loss on that specific day. And the thing is, I was right about the movement, but I was just so uncomfortable with the volume and how long it was taking that I said, you know what? I'm not even comfortable with this. Even I had retracement levels and everything. It's just I'm not comfortable with the volume. So I just said, you know what? I'm done. So as soon as I see like there's no volume and there's a choppy market, that's a red line for me. But again, let's go back to this area right here. So look at, okay, breather. I want to see a breather because it just broke 2780. Now, the next point I want to see breaking is 2780 towards 2770. That's gonna be the movement that's gonna take this trade to the next level. Now we're at 931, we're at 929. So let's see. Okay, 931, 930 has this move down, and at the same time, I'm looking at the 30-minute candle. I switched to the 30-minute candle just to see what levels we're in, and there was a perfect H pattern, which an H pattern for you guys, it's basically having breathers. It's the same thing. This is an H pattern right here where, okay, makes a hard move down, has a breather, breaks. Okay, you guys can actually see like a perfect H right there. So that's an H pattern right there. And in the 30-minute candle, let's go and see this. This was the move. Look at this. Perfect H. Big move down, has a breather. What does it do? Goes back to that area. 630 was the area I wanted to sell. Yeah, it destroyed it after that. I could have held for more, but you know what? I followed my plan. My plan was to buy in at 620, 640, and sell at 630. That was my plan. That's what I've been doing this entire like 3 weeks where I've been up. I'm just following my plan. So as soon as I see this right here, I see that the H is forming. So as soon as I see that the H is forming, I say, okay. So there's a high probability for this to get near this area and even break it. All I have to do is look for those levels that will get me closer to that point within the intraday levels. So in this case, let me erase this, my bad. So I use the 1-minute chart to look at those levels perfectly. And you guys can actually see this big old H right here. That's the 30-minute candle H I just showed you guys, but in 1-minute candles. Hold up. All right. Just gonna stop your video right there, man. All right. How low does the volume have to be where it's too low and you feel uncomfortable? The volume, sorry, I didn't answer this question when you asked it. The volume has to be where I don't see any breakout candles. Like I don't see any big candles towards the move I want to see. You know, I don't see like these candles right here. These candles right here. Like, if I don't see those candles with these humongous uh, average volume wicks, not wicks, sorry, candles, I just, you know what? I say that first of all, the market is choppy, and then this is happening to me. It's no longer a good trade. So your main reason to enter a trade is a price. Is price a? No, I have a checklist, and I actually made a video on it. I'll go ahead and even post it for you guys on this. It's like a 40-minute video. But no, it not just the price. It's like critical levels where there is resistance between a buyer and a seller, and whichever one wins will have a tendency to take it to its next support. Okay, so where are we here? 931, 931, 931. So I want to take you guys through this real quick. Thank you. See, you posted that for me. Appreciate that. Why do you use the 50 volume on Tesla 13? Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I use my laptop to trade because I'm in school. So actually in my laptop, I don't have it with the 50, but this is my desktop. It should be 13. My apologies. Good thing for pointing that out. So why did that not change? Should have changed it. Okay, whatever. I do use the 13, my bad. That's just my personal preference. The 13 right there. You change the movement average, not the volume. Oh, you're totally right. My bad. My apologies, you guys. Here we go. There we are. Okay. There we go. That looks a lot better. I was wondering why it was so flat. All right. So let's go back to 931. Here we go. So again, my retracement level at this point is the previous breakout towards the downside, which is this area right here, 636. See how this candle broke that? If it stays below 336, like I saw this candle going above, and I said to myself, okay, if this candle closes, there's two things that can happen at this point. One, this candle decides to close above like this. It's a lot more difficult to draw. I don't know how Umar does this, but so this candle closes above like this, and the next candle sells off and closes below 636. Okay, that's one thing that can happen. But if I start seeing one, this candle close above like that, okay, and then I start seeing candles go up, okay, I have a second retracement level, which is this one right here. If it starts to break that retracement level, I say, okay, let me go look at /ES and see if it's breaking retracement levels as well. As soon as I see that /ES is breaking retracement levels as hard as it is with continuation, I can say, okay, you know what? Take my profit, get in at the next opportunity. That's one thing, that's one way to protect your capital in the ways that I've been trading, okay? Now, I saw that this candle was not closing above 336, which was this area where it broke before, okay? Strong sellers. Again, this tells me there is a strong sentimental sellers. And with that, Wix tell me a story right there. So let me get close to it. 34, 31. So right here. So you see how tiny little sellers turn into huge sellers in Tesla. That tells me that there is still stronger sellers on Tesla than there are buyers, because this tiny amount of sellers right here, look at the amount of buyers that are trying to push it up. And again, look, this is the area where it broke right here, breaks this retracement level. Look at what happens. The next candle, you remember how I said, okay, there's two things that can happen. This is the retracement level right here, okay? Because that's the candle that broke. This is the retracement right here. It breaks above it. Then what happens? You want to see this huge candle right here. Closes below that retracement level. Continues to move down. What happens to Tesla? Closes below, continues to move down. And you start seeing that over and over and again. Where are we? Oh wait, let's go to 938. This is where I added more to my position. So let's go 938. This candle right here, as soon as I saw that sellers were still in control of all this, I said, you know what? That's a good $4 move that I can catch with another contract. I decide to add more to my position. I see that it is still playing around this area. It's still playing around this area. This is a tug of war at this point. That what can give me my edge into seeing who's going to win this tug of war is slash ES. As soon as slash ES starts to take a dump, I can expect Tesla to dump as well. What I saw, 2776, you see this area right here? Gets near to 2776. Every single time it got near to 2776, what did it do? It jumped up. As soon as it closed below 2776, we're 944. 944 right here, okay? Watch this. 942, 943, 944. Where are we now? We're at 630. Let me see exactly what time I sold. I sold at 945, right? 845 central, 945 here. As soon as I saw it got near to 630, I wanted to actually sell like right there. Like I don't always sell like right when it hits 630. I sell like tiny bit above it, but this candle was moving so fast I remember that I couldn't even like get my order to get filled. So I was like canceling the order, and then replacing the order, then again and again and again on my phone and then on my computer, so I had to fight it. But here's the thing that started happening on as soon as I saw this candle, like as soon as I saw that this candle, I said, you know, to be honest, I'm not waiting for this. Did I sell it 945? Yeah. So this was like right here, exactly right here. And I said, you know what? I see this candle on slash ES pushing up hard with a little bit of volume, at least above the volume average. No volume on this one, but I wasn't gonna wait for the candle to close at this point. I was up like $290. I said, you know what? We're good, man. So I sold like at 631.12, but I bought in right here. Like right below, like right like 638. What inductor do you have on your do you mean indicator? Okay, yeah. I'm like inductor. Um it's called volume average. Yeah, you can find it right here. You can actually look for it. Volume. God, sorry about that. Average, right there. Just click it. You get it. Just click right here. Turn it to 13. I like to use 13. You know, it's no real reason after that. And then I got in Tesla again later on at 1144, but it's basically the same thing. You know, like 1144. Oh, 1144 here. That's 1244 this time. So now 630 was my next point that I wanted to take care of towards 620. So I'm just going to show you guys in the long run. I'm not going to go so deep as I went into this area right here, but 1244 right here. Did I really get in this candle right here? Doesn't look right. I would have gone in like way soon. Oh, no, wait, yeah. How do you determine what your target level is? Oh, well, it's basically I like to see what the tendency of where it tends to stop and where it tends to continue. So what I've been noticing on Tesla and Amazon is that they have no problem. Like for example, Tesla has no problem moving $10. No problem. You can see right here, 630, 625, 620. Every single move it has upwards or downwards is usually $10. In morning, 640 touches 650, stops. Goes below 640, touches 630, stops. Goes up, like stays above 630, goes towards 640. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you start seeing overextensions and you start seeing who's in charge. You know what I mean? So again, goes below 640, goes to 630, stops. goes below 630, goes to 620. Well, in this case, it broke. Breaks for 2 candles. What it does, it returns to that same place. Could you run through my SPY trade real quick? I want to see your perspective on what I did wrong. I only held for 3 minutes. Sure. How do you handle 3-day trades a week being under? Oh, I have a cash account. So because I have a cash account, you can actually call TD Ameritrade and see, like, if TD Ameritrade, you know, basically, yeah, cash account. So TD Ameritrade, what they actually do is, like, for example, I bought in one contract with like $19. Okay, so that's $1,900. That's deducted from this number right here. So because that's deducted from this number right here, that's why you see option buying power is like $2,000, because I used a total of like $6,000 to trade. I don't know, that's like 6,000, like $7,000 to trade today. Okay, and he also uses 13 days moving average. Yeah, 13-day and 50-day. That's what I like. Again, I don't really. Here, you guys can see that. So I'm gonna put that up there. But yeah, cash account has helped me out a lot because you have unlimited trades, but again, you have unlimited trades based on how much money you have. So if you have like like I used to have $2,000 in my account, right? Like 3 weeks ago. And if I were to buy like one Tesla contract for $1,900, that would be it. You know what I mean? But now because I have $9,700, I was able to catch this move, and then I was able to catch this move, and then that's basically how a cash account works, you know? Because it gets deducted from your buying power, but you still have like your total like net buying power and everything. So yeah. And who said, could you run through my SPY trade? Yeah, tell me like where did you get in? What time zone? My SPY trade was from 10. My plan was EST. Okay, so that's 1 hour above me. Is it? Hold up. Yeah, it should be 1 hour above me, right? I'm in Central Time Zone. New York 12:58. Okay. You guys are 2 hours above me. So that would be 8:56 and 10:59. 56. What did you go? Did you go for contracts? Oh, you're doing spot, my bad. Yeah, 280 puts. Okay. 8:56. So you got in at 8:56 and sold at 8:59. Okay. 280 puts. So first thing I see here, so 2,800 towards 26. 278. So let's put some lines on this. So I don't know if I'm looking at the same chart. So you wanted this to go here, but you bought in at 8:56. Oh, so you're right here then. My bad. You're right about that. You're right. You're right. Okay. Ah, I see. That's better. I'm like, my bad, you guys. All right. That's 10:56 here then. Here we go. Let's see. So 10:56, 9:56, my bad. God, what am I doing? Here we go. 9:56. This was the candle you got in. Do you remember that? This candle right here? Okay. So 9:56. See, the thing about SPY is that it's so buyers and sellers on this are so aggressive on both sides. That's why I don't really trade SPY much. I want to see this on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so you just went through a retracement. You can actually see, look at this. You see this right here? First move down, H. Which candle breaks? Look at the candle that broke it. Talking 279.5. That was a horrible straight line, but yeah. 279.5. Keep that number in mind, okay? 279.5. You got in right here. Just you said 246, right? 56, 1056. So you got in at this candle right here. So you got in at this candle right here, made this move right here, found a low, got near its previous retracement level where it broke, got near it, good sellers, good sellers, good sellers, continued to move down. You went through a retracement level and you got scared. You have to look at these retracement levels on multiple time frames. Like there's very small retracement levels on the 1-minute chart, but look at the retrace. I mean, in this case, you can clearly see it. You know, look at this area. It broke the area. This was the candle that broke this level right here. What did it do after that? It continued the move, needed to breathe, got near to the previous area it broke, which is 279.5, got near to that area, and continued its move down. You guys see that part right there? Yeah. So that's basically the way I look at stuff. So I'm hoping you guys got some value from this, to be honest. I mean, I've been putting a lot of time into like learning new things and at the same time just, handling school. High school is annoying to me, to be honest, but um yeah, I honestly hope you guys had an amazing day today. I did, and mainly, yeah, I'm in high school. But I hope you guys had an amazing day. And what do you think is a bigger factor for your success in trading right now? I wouldn't call success. I mean, I'm not even, where I want to be. But for example, I started my account with $12,000 and I brought it down freshman college right now. I feel you, man. But I brought my account down to $2,000 just recently, like 3 weeks ago. And I actually had to like reach out to other people because I noticed that I had a lot of like it almost seemed like my account, like the value of my account was like the representation of the way my life was going. I don't know if you guys can understand that part, but I was going through a lot of stuff personally with parents. My parents were, I mean, they still are kind of getting divorced and stuff like that. And, there's a lot of things like I was very confused at the time because, I'm a senior in high school and I don't necessarily, you know, I I never even liked school in the first place. I used to be an A student And this right here is basically like my life now. And with that, a lot of the things that I do is now towards this. I always wanted to help people in different ways. I wanted to, you know, not just be an inspiration for others, but also for myself, be better than who I was and, everything. So for that SPY trade, when would have you exited if it went south? Well, yeah, right above this level right here. Like, okay, since I looked at this retracement and it was on the 5-minute chart, I would want to see a 5-minute candle close above this level because this specific retracement level, you cannot see it unless you're looking at the 5-minute chart. Okay, because that's why you want to like switch it up. When everything's turning on you, start looking at different time frames. Are you from California? You're an inspiration maker. Thank you. Well, I hope to help you guys in any way I can, to be honest. But back to your question, like if I started seeing a 5-minute candle close above this area, and then I saw that the next 5-minute candle started to look like this, like I would wait for the close above this area and then see what the next candle would do. If it's red and it starts going downwards, I would stay in it still with the 5-minute chart. But if I see that, okay, I don't wait for the close at this point. Like if I see that the movement continues to go up and I see some volume in it, I'd I'd start looking for my way out of this one and probably like just rethink it. But that would be basically my way of getting out. Thanks, man. Got ton of amazing value. I hope you guys did. I really do. So, how about we do one last thing? Let's go ahead and set some levels for tomorrow. You guys can actually see the way I like set levels for tomorrow and everything. Sound good? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at. Oh yeah, you guys, I'm like super excited for tomorrow morning. I can't wait to wake up because the market sold off and I have like $500 on Apple. Apple strike price 270, I believe. What is it? Yeah, 270. So because actually Umar posted on the Stock Market Lab um chat, he said that Apple was closing all their stores in Italy until further notice. And when I heard that, I said, "Oh my God." And then I looked on Benzinga and they were saying that too. And then I was looking on slash ES and look at slash ES on the 4-hour chart. It's a perfect H, at least until this area. But like I was looking at this right here, I was expecting it to move just this much, all the way here. Oh, this is SPY, my bad. Oh, slash ES turns here. Apple here, slash ES. You see how I had my level right here, 2700? Like this was where I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be the perfect trade because it's gonna hit the age and I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. It freaking broke it. Like it broke. So I'm expecting a breather at this point. All the way to 2700 to 2720, but then a continuation of this move right here. Because there are strong sellers on this. And tomorrow I just know that my Apple puts are just gonna be oof, they're gonna be perfect. Are you in Umar's chat? Yeah, yeah. I'm part of the SML group. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and set some levels for tomorrow. So I like to look at 10-day 5-minute chart. Okay, so these was the levels for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and clear everything. I like to clear everything personally. Look at Tesla. I love Tesla. Mm, yes. Do you focus a lot on level 2 when trading? I feel like I don't, to be honest. I should. I should do more focus on level 2. It could probably help me. Like I've been looking for different ways. Like I can catch a move with my plan, but then, for example, with this plan that I went from 630 to 620, like I could have caught this move from 620 all the way to 614 if I knew how to like read level 2 well. Like I'm still learning how to read level 2, and that's just something so difficult for me. I don't know why, but I think it's difficult for a lot of traders to actually read the tape and everything. But I'm following my plan and it's working, so I like it little by little. Um, okay, so let's take a cool. Thanks, no problem, man. So first area I want to look for, probably see some nice calls above 2680 because this is a retracement level right here. If I see some movement towards this area up here, that would be pretty nice. Oh, this thing started to do this. So Zoom makes this get stuck for some weird reason. So I'm just gonna just keep in mind that I usually like set them perfectly. I have a bit of OCD over that. But 2700, these are all very important levels on the upside. Wow, very hard resistances. So this one's gonna be green. And I'm gonna start looking for some puts. Let's say right here. I like it below this area. 2600 seems very important. Tradingsim.com. Oh, tape reading. Nice. I'll take a look at that. $26.60. Where is that? Right there. So these are going to be my levels for tomorrow, at least on /ES. And it's basically because I saw, okay, this is the first retracement level on the upside. Wow, this looks distortion. This is the first level I see that is starting to break over. In fact, anything above 2670 looks good. But just to be on the safe side, 2680 would be my go-to. Then a break above 2700 would be very nice as well. To start looking for some calls. Of course, if it starts moving towards 2600, see how it's the exact same thing that we were talking. Closes below, has a green candle, no signs of momentum, nothing at all. So if we see that it continues its movement towards 2620, that's going to be perfect for my puts on Apple. And it's basically going to mean another red day for the market. So I'm expecting a good move down still. You have 3 yellow levels after calls and puts entry. When do you decide to hold the whole way up or down? I don't decide to hold them because again, I use /ES as I don't trade SPY or /ES. I just use /ES to tell me the direction that the market is going, and with this, then I move on to my actual trade, which is usually Tesla or something like that. But for example, a nice close below, let's say 620 at this point, because I'm more than sure that this is going to close below. I mean, this is going to open below 630. 630 towards 610. Yep, 620 towards 610, and then 610 towards 600. I feel like 600 is going to be a very strong point. And then let's move towards 650 for some calls. It could possibly even be 640, but 640 towards 660. I don't see it really extending all the way to 670 tomorrow, but it can definitely do that. So, um, yeah, that's my levels. That's no science to them. It's just me seeing what areas are strong with indecision with buyers and sellers. Again, it gets close to 650. You see some clear buyer and seller tension, which sellers have won. So if buyers can beat the sellers over this level, it should be pretty obvious to go over 660. Why wouldn't you chart 630 look strong? I mean, with this move, again, this happened when this didn't happen. This hasn't been registered. I can even expect Tesla to open at below 610. No joke. So, I mean, yeah, 630 is a strong move and everything, but I just feel more comfortable below 620. Personal preference. Um, yeah, and you see how 2660 was a very strong level for this. So, uh, anyways, so that's basically how I set my levels every day. And yeah, I hope you guys, honestly, I hope you guys really enjoyed it today. I can tell you guys I enjoyed myself even. So with this, hope everybody has a wonderful night. And the recording, I'll put it up on my bio. So if you guys want to come back, check it out. No problem. All right, you guys have an amazing night. And with that, have a good one.